My name is Pattera. I have been running the game company in E3 Digital for, I think, since 2003. So today it's an honor for me to share a little bit of my experience that I collect over 14 years' time. Right. So in E3 we have been the top one, the second one, the third one. Sometime we fall to the fourth one, the fifth one is depending on, whether we have a great year in publishing or not, right? We got investment by SoftBank in 2014, and it was a very interesting step for me as because in E3 at the initial stage, it was truly a family business, a family company, and we decided that the company should turn it to be a public company. So we transformed the company from a family-owned to a public company, and then later stage we got investment by SoftBank. So feel free to ask me any question. It doesn't have to be related to the topics today, but I'll be happy to help you out because I think I rarely join the Casual Connect though. Like this is probably, I haven't joined for at least 2 years, but it's good to come back and see some of the office and some of the new faces as well, especially the new developer if you wanted to know what's going on, like what should be, what is the point that you should be careful and you're looking for to make a successful games. A little bit of Thailand market. This is where I grew up with, right? I mean, this is the market that I know the most. Like there were time when Thailand market was one of the biggest one until just few years time that the population of Indonesia kind of outgrow the market expectation of the gaming industry. But still, Thailand geographically we're a very sizable market, and we are in the middle of everybody surrounding us, like Vietnam or Malaysia, Singapore, right? And then Philippines is a little bit further away. So the market size is this is prediction of News Zoo though. Sometimes I doubt it because when you go on ground, you probably don't. You are questioning if these numbers are accurate or not. So my advice for the new developer or the new publisher is that you should judge the market size based on your experience on ground together with this kind of number as well and see if it makes sense or not. So don't believe every number, right? Before you make your own understanding, right? Then Thailand game market, we are not a very big and not so small country. So we have about 68 million population. Some of the sources say we have like 70 million. The online population is about 38, and it is said that the gamer is about 31 million. And then the stat also say like 55% are a buyer, right? So that's about 19 million people. So I guess thanks to the arrival of the smartphone that, even when you click buy for one time, that's count. Together we are the number 20th of ranking like the whole world. So roughly around like 600 million in market valuation. So a little bit of what is the development of the Thailand gaming. I think I should be the one who tell you because I was there since the beginning. So PC game in Thailand started in 2002. Everybody know this title very well, like Ragnarok. It was like the world hit it. It's published by Asiasoft. And second one is our title is Pangya. So it was the first time that we introduced a free-to-play item selling model. So that was back then, right? And everybody know that this free-to-play item selling model was invented by Nexon anyway, right? And then the markets moved to FPS. So the genre of FPS was very, very popular. And then 2009 was like MOBA. In Thailand, I think in Southeast Asia, you see the same pattern, right? In Thailand, we have seen the browser-based game like Booms or Tan Tan Tang in Malaysia. Like it has been very popular. But if you look at this kind of browser-based game in Korea, you wouldn't see the same picture as what you're seeing now. And then later, 2010, I believe 2015, then you see Facebook game like Farmville or a bunch of, there's a crazy, I don't remember the name of the title, but there was a pig game that was very popular, right? And then later in 2013, I don't know about other market, but in Thailand, it was the time when mobile games started. And we start seeing a lot of Chinese game coming in. We're seeing our good friend Supercell like introducing their title, and they were a first mover that they were able to capture the market, right? So in summary, in 2002 until 2009, it was a good year, right? It was a good year for all of us, actually. Everything is so calm. It's not a red ocean like today. And it kind of predictable. Like when you see some title, you can actually tell how much money you're going to make in that year, right? And then later, the world start developing. Then you start seeing a browser-based game, right? So we're trying to, I think the industry, we're trying to solve the pain point of having to download a huge program, right? Before like the installation before they get it to play, right? Then 2009 to 2013 is 3 years of browser-based game, but still PC game exists. And then 2013 until today, I don't see good browser-based game around that much, but we'll still have our title running. But I mean, the new browser-based game, like I don't think any developer would be brave enough to create that and then launching in the market. But but we're still seeing a good mobile like coming out, and then some of the developer, like the real hardcore developer that's really believing in MMOs, like start introducing PC game into the market. So it's more like a blue ocean, in my opinion, comparing to the mobile game, right? So also, like when you see the development of the game genre or platform, then you see the development of the way we do marketing as well, the online game media. 2002 until 2009, it was a great year of publishing business. Like, I mean, I'm talking about printing, right? A magazine, game magazine, like it's a bunch. Like, I mean, a lot of company really make a good fortune out of like during this period. Then 2009, you start seeing Facebook, Twitter, Google. Like we tried Twitter in Thailand. It doesn't work. Like people in Thailand who use Twitter are those who we'll call them like they're more like a geek. That's the word. They're really like to read only news that makes sense for them, but not anything gossiping or drama or anything. Like it's not enough space for Twitter, so it's not really good to use that to promote your game. And then 2013, like the era of mobile platform, then you start seeing the advertising on the digital ad, or there's so many, right? So that was the development of the media. So these are some of the game that Initri published, and some of the game were still published today, like Flip, Fly for Fun. We're still launching it. We're managed to get a very good traction of communities after, since 2002 until today. And Pangya, recently we just have a meeting party where we start seeing player bringing in their kids because they meet in Pangya and they got married. We're still operating Booms and Touch Online, which is really a very good browser-based game, and mobile game. So we have new publishing partner, which is Blizzard, this is one of our proud project that keep us busy. And then our new partner, which is Supercell, like we helped them out with launching Heyday in Thai version in Thailand. We just launched it last month. So all of my 14 years, I have more than 37 games partner. All of that's one thing. Like, I mean, it's, you see development of platform, development of media, development of you know, the type of genre of the game. But this one thing never changed, that everyone wanted to be successful. So this has come to the question that I was given from Casual Connect, that what do the publisher must have, right? And what do the developer must have in order to make a successful case of the business, right? So this is pretty simple and easy for me, because these are the issue or the topics that I've been facing, or I work with like pretty much every day. For the developer, there are a lot of limitation of each developer. Some of the developer has a lot of money, right? So they can choose to decide to publish the game on their own, right? But then again, you are facing with the problem of, is Thailand or Southeast Asia is a sizable market? Should I waste my resources or my time to look at this market? Or should I focus on the market that is much bigger, right? Then if you were able to answer that, so many of the developers decided not to really spending their time and resources into Southeast Asia that much. They wanted to focus on other market and make more money. And at the same time, Southeast Asia it's a very challenging market, that we have 600 million population, but we also have different languages, different religion. There's so much different in us, even though we look the same from the outside. And then come to the next question. So I decided not to come in by myself, but then who should we work with, right? So there are other choices of, going and working with advertising agency. So we just throw in a bunch of money and then, just settle down this and that. And then, but one thing that I think is the advantage of working with publisher is that a publisher like us, we do have passion in gaming. We have the team of the gamer that they're also really focusing on what we're doing. What is the market trend? I mean, other than gaming, because these days you should doing the combination of gaming together with other market trend, and also customer behavior. This is an example of Hearthstone that I think it's worth saying here, that in Hearthstone we choose a famous idol that we were able to identify that she's very popular and she's like really the one who's actually playing Hearthstone. And with this, then she can really influence the community, right? These are some of the examples. I'm just going to go real quick. A combination of game content in the market. This is just our latest development with Heyday. We were able to get a lot of download just last month. It's more than 175% increases with our market activities. Then passionate game content that each publisher has. This is the case of Angoro, is a new patch for Hearthstone. We create an activities that when we actually borrow the real dinosaur, this thing costs about $1 million from the Thai science department, and we walked them around, and it got a lot of traction. So this is just one example, though. And creating viral marketing like this is really healthy, and we should keep doing this over and over for each title that we take care of. Some of the agency, the drawback would be that they probably don't understand the game content that well, but with us, we were able to identify which characters will bring in most money for you with the combination of activities plus how do you do the price setting, right? And with that, we also do the moderating the communities, and we need to help developer to build a strong community so that when in times of crisis, when either your server got shut down or there's some bugs in your game, then these players are the one who speak on behalf of you. It's totally like a little bit of us, like a partner, a publisher speaking, but it's not as loud as how the users who really loving your game, loving the communities, help protecting your game, right? A good publisher must have experience in publishing business. Of course, this is the thing that money cannot buy. When we do first Hearthstone launching, we do press conference, and with that, we use a combination of launching the app on the phone, invite only, by invitation only for some certain people. We do invite the media that's cover like the whole range, not just gaming media, but also like business. And the result is really phenomenal. And that how do we measure is success is that a lot of users created their content afterwards. They created on their own. So this is one of the proud moments that we have. And we have good relationship with Gamecaster, esports, and social community. So these kind of relationship, it's built over time. So yeah. Last one, I think it will be a plus, even though they don't have, or any publisher don't have it yet, but it will be a plus that if, for example, like in E3, we already have a strong customer base that we collect over the years. So when we introduce a new title, it's very easy to get the adoption of the customer. And many of them were, making inquiry like to us, like privately, like, okay, what is the role of an E3? What kind of game? Like, is it a good game? So we were able to basically, sharing the existing base that we have to the new game, right? So this case, Pangya and M-Star, Club M-Star was, it used to be with CJ Internet and now with Netmarble. And then Touch Online is by Perfect World. So we were able to introduce each of them. And sometimes when they play Pangya for a very long time and they get really tired, then they wanted to try something else, right? Yeah, and the last one, very important one, is that the publisher has to have a very good financial and operation background, because there are some of the event where it's required a lot of advance money, or and then they were able to cover that for you, and then a lot of things, for example, like buying the media, then you have to book it in advance. You have to pay in advance before you can collect money from either developer or how do you guys share it. So it's just basically it's mean more opportunity for you to get more option and got a wider spread in terms of marketing. So to summarize, so what a good publisher must have, they should have a deep understanding of the gaming market and related market as well. They should have a passion in the game content. They should have experience in publishing business, because it's not easy to be in the front line when the developer in the back like really relying on you, and then you weren't able to give any suggestion of what should developer do and not do. It's a plus if they have a strong consumer base and a good financial background. Then what does developer must have? So this is simple and easy. So these are the the topics that I'm really saying that this is ideal developer. It doesn't have, any developer does not need to have all of these, but if you have more of these, then the chances of you being successful is higher than other people. Yes, you do have to have a passion in the game content, game preference. You must know what you're doing. The UI and the feature, must be great. It must be well designed. You must know what is going to happen next in the near future, although you don't know detail about it, but you can actually tell what's going on so that it will help you in developing future content, right? And good monetization system, regardless of how good the game you are, but if you don't have good monetization, that's it, because we're not operating based on charity, right? So a combo of these is a must, unless your monetization models is not necessary if you base your revenue on the advertising, right? So you must have a very clear and consistent game plan. It helps publisher to design the activities and the timeline, because I know that the life of game, like we're walking in a much faster pace, but still, other related industry, they're not. So having a good plan and update, and it's helped a lot. Developers should have supporting and game activities. So be flexible when you write a code so that we can giving you suggestion, or you should add this kind of activities into your game, right? And if you have, these days, the lifetime of the game lasts longer when you have esports or some competition. Then effective coordination. So a very good communication skills is a must. I think it's not necessary capture to a good developer must have, but a publisher also should have this too. You should commit it to the timeline, right? So we have a lot of experience when we were said that, okay, it's now, and then it got delayed for about 2 or 3 months, and then it got delayed for another 3 months, so that's together like half a year. So the passion in the team kind of ran down, and when there are a lot of uncertainty, is definitely show that the developer is really not really focusing on the success of their game title. So that's pretty sad. Listen to the local need and suggestion. It's very important, because we are actually facing your customer. We're the one who listen to your customer, and then we translate into our language, and then we talk to developers. So all in all, we're just a friend, your friend, who help introducing new customer to you. So it's better to keep your mind and your eyes open and trying to listen to something that's new. And a healthy argument is good. Sometimes if you see that this is really against your core idea of developing the game, then I would suggest that we would like to communicate more, right? But it's different from not listening, right? So all in all, these are the developer must have, right, a good a passion in game content. So you're producing the new content according to the needs of your customer, and being consistent with the game plan, and have a very good communication skill. Last one, although we're talking about what the publisher must have, what the developer must have, but we are in the environment that things change dynamically. So this is from my experience of my 14 years, and every day I learn something new. So I think it's a very good combination that if both developer and publisher are in this together and trying to learn and working together, so everyone will be successful, right? So that's about it.
Thank you so much, Pattera. So we have room for 1 or 2 questions. I'll start off with one question.
Okay.
What kind of games are you looking to publish, new games, this year?
what are we looking at? What we're about to launch? It's different.
For the developers here that might want to work with you.
So we wanted to offer. We're looking for the game that has a deep content. So you have to have at least 6 months of the content, especially on the mobile platform, because otherwise, if you only have like 3 months, it's just not worth it, because the cost of marketing is really, really high right now. And so at least you should have enough supplies of the content to be able to launch successfully. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any questions here for Pattera?
Hi, thanks.
Hi.
Alex from Graham Games. What about publishing a game that's already been live in the Western market for a few years? Do you have experience with that? Does it change things in terms of the way that you launch the title, or what's your experience with that?
In the
in the past.
In the past is I think the business model between publisher and developer changed a lot. So before that, it used to be like a licensing fee plus revenue sharing, or some of the game or come with only minimum guarantee. These days, a lot of developer wanted to publish the game under their name, right? So it is more like a co-publishing model or a marketing partner rather than just, I take like in A3, for example, take ownership of this title and publish under Thailand or Southeast Asia territory. But now you start seeing developer has their own name publishing underneath. So this is what I see. Second is that of course, I think this is what everybody know. It's things come and goes real quick. Like regardless of how big your title are. Like, some of the titles looks so promising, but when you launch in the market, it should have go bigger, but it gone real fast because of the newcomer coming in. So you are actually competing to share the time of the gamer and the money as well. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for this talk. You can talk to the speakers outside this room. So please give it up again for Pattera.
Thank you.